Before we begin, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Storytelling Diva for more powerful stories happen overnight. For Monica, Vanessa, Simone, and Alicia, the years after college were some of the hardest of their lives. The glamorous lifestyles people would eventually envy came after countless sleepless nights, failures, sacrifices, and tears. But by the time they reached their mid-30s, they had become everything they once dreamed about while sitting on that rooftop in Atlanta. Or so it appeared, because while success was arriving, so were the first warning signs, the kind everyone ignores until it's too late. Monica Davis graduated near the top of her law school class. The road hadn't been easy. She worked part-time jobs throughout law school, studied until sunrise, survived on coffee and determination. Many nights she questioned whether she could continue, especially during her second year when her mother was hospitalized after suffering a stroke. Monica nearly dropped out, but her mother refused to let her quit. "You didn't come this far to stop now," Denise told her from her hospital bed. Those words became Monica's motivation. 3 years later, she passed the Georgia bar exam on her first attempt. The entire neighborhood celebrated. News spread through Magnolia Street like wildfire. The little girl who used to watch courtroom shows had become attorney Monica Davis. Within 5 years, she was working at one of Atlanta's most prestigious law firms. Corporate clients, million-dollar cases, political connections. Her future looked limitless, and standing beside her through most of it was Terrence Davis. Terrence's construction company was growing rapidly. He specialized in commercial development projects throughout Atlanta, luxury condos, corporate buildings, mixed-use developments. Money seemed to flow wherever Terrence went. The couple became one of Atlanta's rising power pairs. They eventually married in a lavish ceremony attended by judges, politicians, and business executives. Monica wore a custom designer gown. Terrence arrived in a luxury car caravan. The wedding cost nearly $500,000. Social media couldn't stop talking about it. The marriage appeared perfect. But even then, small cracks existed beneath the surface. Terrence often disappeared for business trips. His phone was always locked. Sometimes he'd receive calls and leave the room. Monica noticed, but she trusted him. Trust would eventually become her biggest mistake. If Monica was becoming powerful, Vanessa was becoming wealthy. After college, she launched a small technology consulting company from her apartment. The company had only one client and barely enough money to pay bills. Many people doubted her. Some investors laughed during presentations. Others told her she was too ambitious. Vanessa used every rejection as fuel. For years, she worked 18-hour days. She missed holidays, missed vacations, missed birthdays. While her friends built families, Vanessa built an empire. Then everything changed. A major retailer signed a contract with her company, then another, and another. Within a decade, her business was generating hundreds of millions in revenue. Magazines featured her. Television networks interviewed her. Business schools studied her success. Vanessa Reed became one of the most influential Black female CEOs in the country. But success came with temptations and secrets, lots of secrets. Malik Stone had become exactly what everyone predicted, a superstar. His albums topped charts. His concerts sold out arenas. Women adored him. Men admired him. The media loved him. And Vanessa loved him. At least she thought she did. Their wedding became a national event. Celebrity guests, Television coverage, luxury venue, designer everything. Millions viewed photos online. Together they looked unstoppable. 3 beautiful children followed. A mansion in Buckhead, private schools, exotic vacations, perfect family photos, perfect social media posts, perfect appearances. But appearances can lie. Malik traveled constantly. Late-night studio sessions became normal. Tour schedules kept him away for weeks, sometimes months. Vanessa ignored the rumors because successful women often convince themselves they're too smart to be fooled. While Monica and Vanessa climbed professional ladders, Simone fought a different battle. Medical school nearly broke her. The workload was brutal. The pressure was relentless. Sleep became a luxury. Relationships suffered. Friendships weakened. Many classmates quit, others failed. Simone survived through discipline and prayer. Her grandmother's memory pushed her forward every day. She remembered the promise she'd made years earlier. Eventually, she became Dr. Simone Carter, cardiologist, one of the youngest specialists in her hospital system. Patients loved her, colleagues respected her, families trusted her. And through it all, Marcus Carter remained by her side. Marcus became a police officer shortly after graduation. Unlike many relationships that struggled under pressure, theirs grew stronger. Marcus admired Simone's ambition. Simone respected Marcus's integrity. Together they built a life centered around family. They eventually married in a beautiful church ceremony. The entire congregation stood cheering when they exchanged vows. Within several years, they welcomed 4 children. Their home overflowed with laughter, chaos, love, and responsibility. Their marriage seemed the strongest among the 4 friends. But even strong marriages can be tested, especially when secrets begin spreading. Alicia Brooks never wanted a job. She wanted ownership. Immediately after college, she entered real estate, not selling homes, owning them, managing them, building wealth through property. Many deals failed. Some investors backed out. Banks denied loans. But Alicia never quit. She possessed a unique talent. She could see opportunity where others saw risk. By age 35, she owned one of the largest luxury property management companies in the Southeast. Developers sought her expertise. Investors chased her attention. She became a force. Then came Isaiah Brooks. Isaiah wasn't just wealthy. He came from generational wealth, the kind that survives for decades. Private jets, international investments, luxury estates. His family controlled assets around the world. When he married Alicia, headlines exploded. Many questioned whether she truly loved him. Others wondered whether he loved her. Neither cared. Together they became one of the wealthiest couples in Atlanta. Their wedding was legendary. Fireworks, celebrity performances, luxury gifts, national media coverage. The guest list included everyone who mattered, or everyone who thought they mattered. 2 children soon followed, and from the outside, life seemed perfect. By their late 30s, the women had become local legends. Monica the attorney, Vanessa the CEO, Simone the doctor, Alicia the property mogul. Whenever they appeared together, people stopped and stared. They represented success, friendship, Black excellence, power. Every year they hosted charity galas together, raised money, mentored young women, supported community programs. The public adored them. But the women themselves knew things weren't quite as perfect as they appeared. Small incidents kept occurring. Strange moments, uncomfortable questions, unexplained behavior, red flags. At charity events, Monica sometimes noticed women staring at Terrence, not admiring him, recognizing him. Vanessa occasionally discovered deleted messages on Malik's phone. Simone found hospital records that didn't quite make sense. Alicia noticed her father becoming increasingly nervous whenever old financial records were mentioned. Each woman saw pieces of a puzzle, but none of them saw the entire picture. Yet, because while they celebrated success, the foundation beneath their lives was slowly beginning to crack, and the people closest to them were hiding truths that would eventually destroy everything: the marriages, the friendships, the businesses, the trust, all of it. The lies had already begun. Nobody knew just how expensive those lies would become. One evening, years after college, the four women stood together on a balcony overlooking Atlanta's skyline. The city sparkled beneath them. Everything they had ever dreamed about sat before their eyes: success, power, wealth, legacy. Vanessa raised a champagne glass. "We made it." The others smiled, but somewhere deep inside each woman, a feeling lingered, a feeling they couldn't explain, as if life was preparing to reveal something they weren't ready to see. And, unfortunately, that feeling was right. Because the first lie was already waiting, and it would arrive at a party none of them would ever forget. For 15 years, Vanessa and Malik Stone had been one of America's favorite couples. From red carpet appearances to magazine covers, they were viewed as relationship goals. Fans admired them. The media celebrated them. Brands paid millions to associate with them. And now, to celebrate their 15th wedding anniversary, Vanessa planned an event Atlanta would never forget. Unfortunately, nobody would remember the party for the reason she intended. The celebration was held at the Stone Estate, a sprawling $20 million mansion situated on 50 private acres north of Atlanta. The property looked more like a luxury resort than a home. A circular driveway wrapped around a massive fountain illuminated by gold lights. Valet attendants in custom uniforms greeted guests as luxury vehicles arrived one after another: Bentleys, Rolls-Royces, Maybachs, Lamborghinis. Private security officers monitored every entrance. Drone cameras floated overhead, capturing footage for social media. The event had been planned for nearly a year. Nothing was overlooked. Nothing was ordinary. Everything screamed wealth. By 7 o'clock, the guest list had become a who's who of celebrity culture: professional athletes, actors, music executives, influencers, politicians, entrepreneurs, television personalities. Some guests arrived simply to celebrate. Others arrived hoping to be seen. Social media exploded almost immediately. The event hashtag became a trending topic before dinner was even served. Professional photographers lined designated media areas. Content creators live-streamed arrivals. Luxury lifestyle bloggers documented every detail. Thousands of people followed along online. Vanessa loved every second of it. When Monica, Simone, Alicia, and Vanessa appeared together, cameras practically stopped functioning from overuse. The women had become symbols of Black excellence, success, power, friendship. Their appearance immediately became one of the night's biggest talking points. Monica wore a custom emerald green gown designed exclusively for the event. The fitted silhouette highlighted elegance rather than extravagance. Diamond earrings sparkled beneath crystal chandeliers. As always, she carried herself with quiet confidence. Simone wore a sophisticated silver gown. Simple, elegant, timeless. The doctor had never cared much about attention, but tonight she looked stunning. Alicia arrived in a breathtaking black couture gown that immediately became the subject of social media discussions. Luxury fashion pages posted photographs within minutes. Then there was Vanessa, the queen of the evening. She descended the mansion's grand staircase wearing a custom gold designer gown worth nearly $70,000. Guests literally applauded. Malik stood waiting at the bottom, looking every bit the superstar. For a moment, everything seemed perfect. Throughout the evening, Vanessa and Malik played their roles flawlessly. They laughed together, danced together, posed for photographs, held hands, shared kisses. Every image looked like a fairy tale. But Monica noticed something strange. Not about Vanessa, about Malik. Several times during the evening he disappeared. At first, she assumed fans were pulling him aside. Then she noticed his behavior. He seemed nervous, distracted, almost uncomfortable. Whenever certain guests approached, his expression changed. Monica filed the observation away. She wasn't suspicious. Not yet. Around 9 o'clock, guests gathered beneath an enormous glass pavilion overlooking the estate's private lake. The room glowed beneath crystal chandeliers. Hundreds of candles flickered across luxury table settings. Vanessa stepped onto the stage. The crowd erupted into applause. She smiled, looking directly at Malik. 15 years ago, I married my best friend. Guests smiled. Some even cried. Vanessa continued. We built a life together, a family together, a legacy together. Malik squeezed her hand. The audience applauded again. Everything felt magical, until it didn't. At exactly 9:17 p.m., Monica's phone vibrated. Normally, she ignored notifications during events, but something about this one felt different. The message came from an unknown number. No name, no profile picture, just a single line. Attached beneath the message was a photograph. Monica frowned. Her stomach tightened. Slowly, she opened the image. The moment she saw it, the world stopped. At first, her brain refused to process what she was seeing. The image was grainy, taken from a distance. But the faces were unmistakable. Malik Stone and Alicia Brooks. Kissing. Not a friendly kiss. Not a misunderstanding. Not something that could be explained away. A kiss filled with familiarity, intimacy, history. Monica zoomed in, then zoomed in again. Her heart began pounding. The timestamp displayed at the bottom made everything worse. The photo wasn't recent. It was years old, which meant this wasn't a one-time mistake. This wasn't a random encounter. This was something deeper, something long-term, something deliberate. Monica immediately looked across the room. Alicia was laughing with investors near the bar, completely relaxed, completely normal. Across the pavilion, Malik stood beside Vanessa greeting guests, equally calm, equally normal, as though nothing had happened, as though they weren't hiding something capable of destroying multiple lives. Monica suddenly felt sick. She excused herself and hurried toward the restroom. Inside, she locked herself inside a stall, then looked at the photograph again, and again, and again, hoping somehow it would become less real. It didn't. Her phone vibrated again. Unknown number, another message. There's more. A second photograph arrived, then a third, then a fourth. Different dates, different locations, different years, hotels, restaurants, private events. The evidence appeared overwhelming. Monica's hands began shaking. The affair wasn't recent. The affair wasn't accidental. The affair had apparently been happening for years. Why Alicia? Why Malik? How long? Did Vanessa know? Did Isaiah know? Was anyone else aware? The questions flooded her mind. Then came the most terrifying thought of all. What if this wasn't the only secret? What if the anonymous sender wasn't exposing an affair? What if someone was exposing all of them? Monica returned to the party, but everything looked different now. Every conversation felt suspicious. Every smile looked fake. Every laugh sounded forced. Suddenly, she found herself studying her friends, examining their behavior, searching for clues. Had Alicia always looked guilty? Had Malik always been nervous? Had she simply missed it? Or had they become experts at deception? Just before dessert was served, Monica's phone vibrated one last time. She hesitated, then opened it. The message contained only 6 words that drained the color from her face. Ask Alicia about Terrence's son. Monica stared at the screen, confused. Terrence's son? What son? Their son was at home. The message made no sense. Unless the sender meant another child. A child Monica knew nothing about. A child her husband had never mentioned. A child that shouldn't exist. Her breathing stopped. Slowly, she looked across the room toward Terrence, standing beside business partners, laughing, smiling, looking perfectly comfortable. And for the first time in 20 years, Monica wondered if she truly knew her husband at all. Across the ballroom, Alicia glanced toward Monica. Their eyes met. For a brief moment, Alicia's smile disappeared, as though she somehow knew, as though she sensed the truth had finally found its way into the light. Monica slowly slipped her phone into her purse. The photographs remained hidden, for now. But she already knew one thing. Before this night ended, someone was going to answer her questions, and depending on those answers, everything she loved could come crashing down.